I stifle a yawn. Oh god, we're 3 in a row. Okay. I stifle a yawn as I wait in the back of the convenience store. It's barely light out, the streets are quiet. Ugh, why am I awake at this hour? I take a look at my phone. It's 6:30. Geez, if it wasn't for that jerk Ted, I'd still be in bed right now. It's the weekend for crying out loud. He called me yesterday, telling me that today was the day he'd start training me for the job. Not so bad. Like, the weekend is perfect for stuff like that, but didn't expect him to say that we were going to start so early. Excuse me. How much stuff could we possibly need to teach me anyway? And where is he? All I feel like doing right now is complaining. It's too early for life. About 10 more minutes pass before I finally catch sign of Ted, wearing that jumpsuit I always make fun of. He's holding a tray of coffee like an offering of peace. Here. He hands me a cup of chilled coffee with whipped cream dolled on top. He smiles and hands the straw. I figured you were the type who likes fraps. I am, but I'm too tired to be overly grateful. I mutter thanks for taking the straw, unsealing it, and sticking it through the cup's lid. Yes, and then she's drugged. And all I need is one sip of the sweet coffee goodness before I'm back on my way to recovering. This is chocolate. This is the chocolatey one. Did you get this from Stardos? We had Mingles and Lies, chip brands, and then we have Stardos. The one nearby. Pretty dang expensive just for a cup of joe, but we ain't got much time to waste for your training. Ted, it's always hard to jump back into his damn voice. Ted balances the cardboard tray on his hand as he picks up the cup of hot coffee and places it gingerly to his lips. After a daring sip, it mustn't have been too hot, he sighs in contentment. What I would do for a cup of coffee. You're pretty energetic for 6 in the morning. My voice is as bitter as Ted's drinks, and he turns away, the cup to his lips. I do this all the time. It's nothing new to me. Do you have an early class? I've come into the store to take inventory. Make sure everything's in shape, housekeeping stuff. When that's all done, I need to head to criminology. Yep. I take a surprised sip and wince as the chill hits the top of my mouth all at once. But wow, you wake up too early. Can't you let your dad take care of that? Don't cops have to get up that early anyway? Ted makes a noise of protest into his cup. Heck no. I'm not going to bother my pa with something like that. He's offered, sure, but I always tell him I got it. It's because I do. He's got more stuff to worry about than the store. I reckon I can lighten this load however I can. Aw, Best Son of the Year award. Shut up. Ted hands me the cardboard tray so he can rummage into his pocket. He pulls out the key ring and uses one of them to open the back door of the store. Get in there. He opens the door and gestures with his coffee for me to hurry up. I stick my tongue out as I pass him. The two of us make our way into the middle of the store. Ted goes over to flick the switch and light floods the store, brightening it up for the early dawn. Okay, so can I ask you something? You can. Ted says that in an obnoxious way people do to point out the correct word was may. I ignore him. What the heck are we going to do, and why did I have to wake up before 6 a.m. to do it? It's training. I'm going to teach you everything you'll have to know around here. It's easier to do when one's moseying through the store, so we got to start early. It's easier to do when no one's moseying through the store, is what I was meant to say. But just the register, right? Right? Ted shakes his head at the desperation in my voice. Wrong. 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 You think that's the only thing I'm going to need you to do? He begins to list tasks off on his fingers. The register is the one thing, but then I'll need to have to teach you everything is. But then I'll have to teach you everything is. Things you'll need to know, emergency drills. I stop Ted before he gets too wrapped up in his spiel. Does he seriously think I can't do the accent anymore? I think I'm going to need that. I've been trained for a job before, and it's nothing that requires this much time, which makes me wonder. Do you do this to everyone you hire? This kind of training? No, this is the first time I've considered it. I groan in disappointment, slumping forward. Aw, that makes me so special, huh? You're the first person I've ever thought that could handle it. Ted pauses for a beat to consider what he just said. Not that I'm saying you're special or anything, just the most capable I've come across. Nope, that's so what you thought. The way Ted blushes only confirms that I'm right, and it's kind of flattering. Must show a lot of promise and I match up to his crazy high standards. If you really believe in me, I'll do my best, boss. I take a determined slip of my frappuccino. Ow, no, too fast. I hold a hand up to my head and groan as a sharp chill pierces my brain. But brain freeze! Brain freeze! Don't drink so fast, you moron! Of course that's gonna happen. Ted holds his hands out unsurely as I try to settle down, but he eventually settles for rubbing his temple like he's the one with the brain freeze. Is this your way of doing your best? I'm good now, promise. Taking another sip of my drink slowly this time to prove it. See? All good. No more brain freeze. Then can we start? I want for us to begin about 5 minutes ago, but all your hollering set us back. I nod eagerly, remembering what Ted had reluctantly admitted about me. I'll have to show him that he thought right. From that point on, the training session became one huge blur. If I'm telling the truth, I don't know if it was early morning or what, but I can only recall Ted showing me around the convenience store to point out exact locations of specific merchandise. And I mean literally the exact location. For example, candy bars are on this second aisle, and they're stacked as followed. YOLOs, Dig Dogs, Herschels, Chuckles, Papa Rudy, really? Yes, Ted made me memorize where they all were. Okay, we did this for every single thing in the convenience store. I wonder if my brain just registered this as something too traumatic to remember. Nicole. Hey, Nicole. Ted snaps his fingers in my face as I zone out on the register after that crash course in the inventory. That was not a good... There we go. When I tried for 2 and I only got the 1. Which Ted even tested me on, I might add. I was feeling super brain dead. Can anyone really blame me? But I'm not going to show him that I can't handle it. Sorry, I'm alive. What were you saying? I was asking if you needed me to explain how to use the register again. I'm guessing that'll be a yes. Grumbling, I bump Ted to the side and take the place at the register. I start miming through the actions I remember him telling me about. All I do is scan the thing, the price pops up, I ask them to pay, bag the whatever, then hand them the thing so they can GTFO, right? Turn to Ted, confident, and he actually seems surprised that I knew all that. A crude way to explain, but you got the gist of it. You must have been paying attention. I was admittedly only a little bit, but at least I managed to BS my way out of that situation. Alright, what's next? Bring it on. Do you need me to, carry boxes or something? It must be obvious that I'm trying to make up for drifting off before because Ted snorts at me. No, you don't need to carry anything, though that'll be one of your responsibilities later on. Get that memorized. What I need from you now... Awkward and eyebrow Ted loses some of his composure. Whenever he gets all nervous and awkward like this, I know something weird is going to happen. I'm not trying to be funny with this question, but... What's your size? My size? I look down at my chest, then see Ted gesture with his chin that I'm on the right track. I shoot him a glare. Wow, you pervert! Holy no! I'm not asking about how big you are there. What the heck? Then what was that? What was up with that? I mimic his gesture and Ted slaps his forehead so loudly that there's gonna be a red mark there left behind. Ugh. I have an itch. Excuse me. Okay. As his arms return back down to his side, I see a faint trace of one. What I'm asking about is your dang shirt size. Are you a large? I cover my front with my arms and gasp, pretending to be offended. Why would you think I'm a large? That's some sort of fat joke. No, I'm only trying to... What the hell is your shirt size, Nicole? Ted's yelling angrily, obviously flustered by our exchange. I'm so close to busting up, but that'll ruin all the fun. Let me just say that teasing Ted like this is a riot. I really hope he's not the bad guy. He's probably my favorite character. I'm a medium most of the time. I go large sometimes if I want to be comfy. As for my other measurements, I want to get Ted and wag a finger. You'll have to buy me a few dinners if you want to know that. I told you I didn't care about that, golly. Ted storms off to the back room, and I turn to the side to cover my mouth and I explode in a fit of giggles. I really should have started teasing Ted sooner. This is way more fun than I thought it would be. I straighten up when I hear Ted returning. My heart plummets in my chest when I see he's holding one of those ugly gray uniforms on a hanger. Ew, no! I got you a medium. If it doesn't fit, there are larges we can get you into. No, I'm not calling you fat. He blushes as he thrusts the uniform out to me. Reluctantly, I take it from him. Do I really have to wear this? It's a uniform. What do you think? Of course you gotta have to. This almost makes it not worth it. What do you want me to do with this? There's no place to change in here. Ted jets a thumb over his shoulder. Change in the back room. There ain't nobody back there, so it'll just be you by your lonesome. I do as Ted says, holding the uniform like a ball on a chain. Maybe it won't look as bad as I think. I might end up being pleasantly surprised. I don't end up being pleasantly surprised. I love that that very quick, sudden transition and the obvious. "15 minutes later, I finished changing and Wow, girl! 15 minutes! 15 minutes! Bitch, I can get a full... No, you will learn to dress faster. Okay. Anger aside, 15 minutes later, I finish changing and drag myself out so Ted can see the horror he has wrought upon my fashion sense. He's currently leaning against the counter, checking the watch on his wrist when he finally notices me coming. I stand in front of him and spread my arms out. Kill me. No. No, it doesn't fit. It's pretty comfy. I can move easily in it too. A medium will totally work for me. But then I'm guessing you're making a face like something died for some other reason? Something did die, Ted. I hold my hands to my chest dramatically. My soul. Cut it out. I'm sure you have to like something about it. Go on. I bet you can name at least one thing more besides how comfy it is. He's got me there. The uniform isn't horrendously bad. There's actually is something else I like about it. I like the color of it. If I'm being honest, I really dig the color of it. Now that I have one on, I can tell it's more of a light bluish gray than a boring gold gray. It's still neutral, but it has a nice pop of color. That's pretty cool. Ted blinks a few times in response. Ha! I have no idea what you just said, but I told you that you'd come up with something. Ted chuckles quietly, pleased with my answer. I'm actually pretty keen on this color. Gray's got this something about it. I do like gray. Everything. My dog. It's a solid and simple. I lower my eyelids playfully. Totally suits you, Mr. Boring. Ted frowns when he hears the nickname I made up for him, but the corner of his lips soon twitch upward in a small smirk. Really now. Then what about you, little Miss Fashionista? Oh, you actually can be snarky when you want to, Ted. I've been underestimating you. But I like orange. Or maybe yellow? Red? Nah, definitely yellow. Yeah, I like yellow too. It's bright and fun and looks amazing on me. Yes, it does. Just saying. I never asked you. There he goes again, as straightforward as usual. It's sad how used to this I am. I have a question, boss. At least try to sound like you mean it when you call me that. But shoot, what's the question? We only have to wear the uniforms. We only have to wear the uniform, right? Can I push the sleeves up if I need to? I don't see any problem with that, no. Oh, cool, thanks. I get to work on adjusting this uniform. I'm doing some of the top buttons so the flaps hang to the side and expose the color of my shirt underneath. Next, I roll up the sleeves just to above my elbows and fold the ends for the tailored look. I give the same treatment to the legs of the suit until they are resting right above my knees. There we go. What do you think you're doing with your uniform? Making it cute. You said I could push up the sleeves and I'm technically still wearing it. I twirl in place to show it off. It makes it look like I'm wearing a romper now. Totally in. Ted closes his eyes and runs a weary hand through his hair. I will never understand how a woman's mind works, but anyway, if your one-woman fashion show is finished, you're done here. Seriously awesome. What time is it? Ted turns his wrist my way so I can see the face of his watch. Almost 10. I'll have to open the store soon. I can help you. That's what all this training was for, right? I'm like I'm like basically official. Yes, but no. Get out. I put my hands on my hips and frown at him, not budging. Geez, do you really not think I can help you after all that? Nicole, I offered to let you go because I thought you were going to get some more shut-eye since you've been working hard this whole morning. I wanted to give you a break. Ted glances away furtively. Something like that. Is he serious right now? Because if he is, wow, that's really nice of him. I thought he was all serious business when it came to the store. Looks like he was one to prove me wrong like this time. Blah, 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 blah. Fine, I'll head back to my dorm. I could use a little nap now that you mention it. Before I head to the back room to get my clothing, I stop and point at the makeshift romper I'm wearing as my uniform. I never thought I'd ask this, but can I take this with me? I can take this with me, right? Yes, and don't you start about how much you hate it, Nicole. I ain't gonna listen to any more of that hogwash, you hear? I giggle as Ted huffily begins to prep the store for opening. Yes, boss, I read you loud and clear. She's gonna change it. Yay. I am now a store clerk.